Alrighty, April 22nd, 2020. Doesn't matter what day it is. I already did another episode, and this is going to be my, I'm going to keep practicing this Monday morning podcast style of doing this rant style. I mean, I gotta get better at this, and the only way to do it is just keep doing, just keep pushing through. Somebody edit this and put with Rocky, like that Rocky soundtrack in it. There's something fucking motivating about that soundtrack. Anytime you hear the da-na-na, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'm already sweating already. But yeah, I'm gonna keep. Yo, it smells like it's burning out here. Anyway, I'm gonna keep doing this rant style thing and just talk, just air it all out, and I'm sure I'm gonna get better. It's one of those things like some of the things that's hard about trying to improve. This is okay. All right, listen. All right, listen. That's how every rapper starts a beef or a battle. All right, listen. Listen, look. I think one of the things that's like hard about learning a new skill is that people want to shit on you in the very beginning. Like when you don't know how to do, okay. Good example. Have you ever tried to learn another language like Spanish, sign language, whatever. There's only 2 languages out there in the world. But if you ever try to learn another language, there's this weird thing that happens where people shit on you in the very beginning, or they like laugh at you because you're pronouncing things wrong or you're fucking it up. But it's like, of course you're gonna fuck it up. You're learning a new fucking language. What do you expect? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that to a kid who's trying to walk for the first time. I don't know how old you are when you start walking. I'm gonna guess 2. You wouldn't go up to a 2-year-old and watch them fall down and just point and laugh at them until they started weeping for even trying in the first place. Like if everybody did that to every kid, we would all just have a bunch of Stephen Hawkings rolling around in wheelchairs. It fucks up your confidence. And there's this weird thing about that, but either way, fuck them. I'm doing this regardless. Yeah. So this whole ranting style, I was working out writing. I think I'm gonna get back into it. I think I'm just gonna continue to write premises and write ideas. And one of the ideas I came up with was from last night. If you listen to that really, really long, I think it was like 49 minutes. It's probably the longest ACMM I've done so far. But if you listen to that episode, there's a point where at the very end where I talk about my grandpa. And this is gonna get sad. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. But there's this point where I was talking about my grandpa and how you need masculine energy as a boy, as a man, as a cisgendered heterosexual young man. I'm almost 30. Am I considered young anymore? I think I'm still young. Yeah, because when I listen to this, if I decide to re-listen to this when I'm like 50, I'll be like, yeah, man, 28 is still young. But as a young man, you need guidance. You need guidance to figure out how to be a man. They do wild shit in Africa and other countries to cross the threshold into manhood. Have you seen Black Panther? He asked rhetorically, I guess, because nobody's going to be able to respond right now. But if you've seen Black Panther, there's Killmonger, and he has those scars all over his body. That's a real thing in a particular culture that I know nothing about because I don't read, where in order to become a man, they slice your back and then they pour dirt in your back and then they let the scar heal over in some sort of fucking crocodile tradition or something. I don't know, but it's supposed to signify that you're a man because you took the pain or something. Regardless, there's these thresholds that you got to cross. And, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would describe myself as a feminist that other feminists hate. Because, for whatever, I don't know, because I say wild shit, I guess. But that's something that feminists and those extreme, you know what? I'm gonna change the description of it. They're not feminists, because that's like saying someone who is Black Lives Matter is an extremist, or someone who is not pro-choice, pro-Second Amendment is inherently an extremist. I'm not talking about feminists. I'm talking about 40-year-old white blonde female feminists. I need to come up with a good name for them, like a really good summary. Karens. I'm talking about, no, Karens can also be conservative. You guys know Karens. Or like barbecue Betties, those type of ladies. Okay, barbecue Betties, Karens, women that like drink wine, the wine moms, you know what I mean? Or the cool mom from fucking, what is that? It's a really good movie. What's it called? Mean Girls. Like people like that. Just overprivileged fucking white girls. They get on my goddamn nerves because they have this thing in their heads about men and masculinity and how evil it is. But you don't know the first goddamn thing about being a man. Granted, neither do I, because I didn't get enough male figures in my life. I had my grandpa till I was about 14, 15. My dad intermittently, and then like, what's his name? Mr. Feeney. That shit does not count though. That like manhood, masculinity, you don't know the first fucking thing about it. If you want to understand why we have such a power trip, pee standing up for the first time. And you'll know, when you experience the power of being able to like go in the snow and write out your name in cursive, if you still even remember cursive, then you'll understand why men are on a power trip. But like it gets on my nerves, man. Like that putting masculinity down. Like if it wasn't for masculinity, we would all gotten eaten by fucking saber-toothed tigers a millennia ago. Granted, you know, I'll give you that there's also a lot of rape during the protection from the saber-toothed tigers. A lot of rape, a lot of domestic violence stuff. But you gotta take the good with the bad, you know. You gotta take the good with the bad. No, but that's always something that got on my nerves. You know what it is when I am a thing, and someone tells me how to be that thing, and they're also not that thing. I think that's what gets on my nerve, like grades at me. As a black dude, when white people would tell me like, this is how to be black. It's like, oh, fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. Or when feminists say, well, you masculine men. It's like, but bitch, have you ever had a dick? Do you know what the experience is like? No, you don't understand. So shut the fuck up. He said, talking to another group of people who also have experiences that are different from his. But you get what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a part of a group and you don't know how that group functions biologically and through the experiences, don't say your opinion about the group, or don't tell that group how the fuck to be that group. You don't know how to be the group. You don't know how to be a man. You don't know what it's like to go into a bar and think to yourself, oh, if I accidentally like run into the wrong dude or accidentally spill some dude's fucking Bud Light, oh, I might be in a fist fight. Like, that is real. That shit happened. There's more barking dogs. Anyway, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. I think I'm going to write that shit down. Something about masculinity or something. That's been a big part of my life. And there was something else I was going to talk. There's a lot of things I was going to say. Oh, okay. So this whole idea of first person and second and third person. I think it's first person and third person. I think I've been saying it wrong. Like, first person is the not the school shooter, the first person shooter thing, like video games, like Call of Duty visual. So I've been jumping back and forth, and I think I'm starting to realize, maybe, and I don't know if I'm wrong here, but I think I'm starting to realize is that in first person is when I'm most present, I'm calm, I'm zen, and I am, like, not me, but I'm just present, and I'm not even calm. I won't even say, I'm just say present, because calm and zen is not exactly what I'm like when I'm present necessarily, but I'm just present in the moment. And then third person, the Spider-Man point of view, is, I think that's where the creativity comes from. I think most people don't understand what I mean by this first person, third person thing, because they don't experience it, and they don't understand that, like, third person is when my mind is not even on this planet. Like, I'm in a whole other world. And I know I used Doug from Nickelodeon as an example, where he would just go off into he's Quail Man all day if he feels like it. And that's what happens in my head. I'll just, like, if I'm in third person, I'll just go off into La La Land, which I'm really glad did not beat Moonlight. That would have been racist. No. Oh, also, I figured out some isms I have when it comes to jokes. So I've been stepping on my punchlines from, like, I would step on my punchlines from, like, mumbling afterwards or saying unnecessary words afterwards. And I also had, like, a nervous laughter afterwards. And then now, I think I've gotten past those two things. Now I have a new tick where I say anyway or some dumb shit. So I gotta work that out. Boom, did you hear that? Silence. Next thought. It's called improvement, people. Fuck. What was I saying? I was saying words, saying statements and opinions and beliefs. Fuck. Well, either way, I think the reason, that was the other thing I was thinking. I was thinking about a lot of things. This is why I don't do long rants, is it just jumps from topic to topic. There's no focus. But the other thing I was thinking was, I think the reason why I have this, like, caring about what people think thing, I go back and forth between not giving an absolute fuck, not caring at all, to a point that's, like, not okay and disturbing, to caring way too much and is I don't know, like a blockade on my own thoughts and emotions, and is almost like I'm like discounting my own beliefs before I even say them, because I'm just waiting for the next person to just come and attack. Like, I got this personality. There's a personality like mine where people feel the need to let me know how they feel in a negative way. Like, oh, hold on. There's another goddamn rabbit, and we're not doing it. All right, I think the rabbit, nope. Okay, I think it's gone. People feel, like, weirdly comfortable letting me know how much they hate me. I don't know what it is about my personality exactly. Like, I know it's because I'm a pretty open person and I'm loud, like I'm opinionated. And I think a mixture of those things makes people feel like, oh yeah, then I can tell him he should go kill himself. There's some sort of connection there that people seem to make. And then when you've been dealing that with your entire life, and then you go home and there's no positive reinforcement, it starts to eat at you. Like, I think naturally I'm the type of person to just say their opinions and not give a fuck about what anyone thinks or says, or thinks about it. I'm thinking naturally I lean into that because it's my instinct. And then over time, society, man, fuck government, man, Obama, man. No, society's made me, is like fucked with my head, and so I've just gotta fix it a little bit. But it's like, okay, it's like if you look like you can fight, or if you're like a bouncer, there's a particular type of dude at the bar who will want to instigate a fight with you. There's something about, like, if you're big and you look like you can fight, other dudes are like, well, I have to prove my manhood and let this guy know that I mean business. I don't know what it is, and it's the same thing about me. Something about, like, someone that is vocal with their opinion and open, where other people are like, well, then I need to be, well, I guess you know what? That's perfectly reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. I guess if I'm going to share my opinion in a loud, verbose, obnoxious way, then other people have every right to share their opinion in a loud, verbose, obnoxious way. It's just like when you're the person who initiates it, it can be not good, not fun. I think I was talking to Henderson about this. about like being in my feminism class. This is the type of shit that pisses me off when it comes to me sharing my opinion. Is if I'm in a group of people and I'm gonna say the thing that people are unwilling to say, afraid to say, scared to say, other things say, have my fucking back. Like, if you agree with me, have my fucking back. I remember I was in this feminist class where every day or every other day or however many times I went to this class, I was going to fucking war. It was 300 verbally every single day with these short haircut, plaid wearing bitches where I would just like, I would have to like argue about freedom of speech and what a joke is and why this is not okay and why they're being sexist now towards men and all this fucking stuff. And 90% of the class was attacking me. And then at the end of the class, the other 10% would quietly like scamper over to me and be like, hey man, thanks for saying that, man. I really appreciate it. That's exactly how I feel. It's like, bitch, get my back. How did the founding fathers pull that shit off? That is so impressive to me that they were able to be like, hey guys, I need all of you to throw your life on the line for this idea of freedom or this new political philosophy. That's wild, man, that you convinced poor Britishmen, I don't know if they're British, I guess technically they're American, but that you convinced a bunch of farmers to be like, yeah, I'll take a bullet for you. And they weren't even like modern bullets that were sanded together nicely and that like go through your body. These were those old school cannonball musket bullets. They convinced thousands, I'd imagine, to go stand in a line and just shoot at each other and die for this crazy cause. And I can't convince like 10, 20 people in a feminism class to say, hey man, you know, men aren't evil. It's wild, man. That shit's crazy. Maybe I need to get better at my cult skills. That was a joke I had that I was working on before the world ended. About being, oh shit, okay. I came back to the other idea. First person and second person, teetering. There seems to be a sweet spot that I need to find. That even throughout this recording, I've been jumping back and forth where I'm like, oh, I'm in first person now, I'm focused. Now I'm in third person and I'm like letting my mind go and then I come back to first person. Right now I'm in first person. It's so weird, man. You know, you're not going to email because nobody ever does. thebuddysystem@gmail.com. But is there anybody who's getting this metaphor I'm making? Because so far, every person I've told in real life has been, they don't look, they do look a little confused by it, but they don't look like they get what I'm saying, but it doesn't seem to be on like a personal level. I don't think that's how they view it. I'm looking for somebody who gets what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how to put this shit into words, what it's like in my brain, in my head. It is like, I'm still working on like enjoying being me. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's awesome being me. I'm so unique and different and fun and interesting. And then other times I'm like, ugh, can I just be a wallflower? Can I just be the dude who everyone copies off of? Can I be the quiet Asian kid in the high school classroom? I am so jealous of the quiet Asian kid. And I know, like, you know, grass is always greener. And, you know, when he goes home, he's getting beat into playing the piano and the violin while also doing math homework at the same time. I know that's what that kid's life is like. But I would love to be that quiet introvert who doesn't stir the pot, who doesn't make waves, who doesn't have people yell at him in class to shut the fuck up. Like, I would really like to be that person every now and again. I just fucking can't. And sometimes I like being me, but there's a good portion of time where I'm tired. I'm exhausted from doing it. It's a job, man. It's a full-time job being me. Don't you guys get it? Don't you understand how unique and how much of a unique snowflake I am? I am special. Why aren't you respecting how special and unique of an individual I am. You get what I'm saying? Right now I'm walking past, I'm not going to say his full name. I'm only going to say his first name. His kid's name was Austin. I'm walking past his old house. I assume that is not his dad. Doesn't look like it. He's not going to listen to this. Austin, you're not going to listen to this. I'm not going to say your last name, though. Apparently, this dude's like a doctor now. I saw his shit on like, Facebook. He's, like, not buff, but he's, like, in shit. He's, like, he looks like a dude that would have gone on Conan before the quarantine. Like, he's an attractive guy now. He's tall. He seems to be really smart and articulate and shit. He's definitely the guy who would have gone on Conan, and Conan would have been like, oh, what's it like fighting the coronavirus? He'd have been like, it sucks. And then I would have been Conan's, I don't know, sound guy. I would have been the guy with, like, the boom mic. He was like, oh, Austin, I remember you. And he'd been like, I don't know. We don't need to interact. That's wild, man. Thinking about where everyone in my childhood has gone. They've all gone in different directions. I'm just walking through my old neighborhood because I live in my old neighborhood because I can't escape the purgatory that is Riverside. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I always end up back here. But, no, man, it's weird. It's weird, like, thinking about where everyone's gone. I always have this thing in my head where as my life goes on, I just assume everyone else's life is on pause. They just, as soon as I'm not interacting with them, as soon as I stop talking to somebody during graduation, they just paused there and there's a freeze frame and they've just been there for the past decade waiting for me to come back and be like, oh, what's up, man? And then the hat falls down and they're like, what's up, Aaron? I guess we're going to go walk to Carl's Jr. because that's what we did in high school. Maybe that's selfish. Maybe it's selfish. I'm sure you get it, whoever you are listening. All you cool cats and kittens out there. Yo, Carol did that shit, man. Carol fucking did that shit. Even OJ was like, yeah, Carol did that shit. It was impressive. No, I always get curious. Like, every month, couple months, I'll hit up somebody I haven't, like, from my childhood or past or I haven't talked to in a long time, just to say hello or to check in or whatever. And I get mixed responses, but all of, like, across the board, I get this vibe of like, oh fuck, he's gonna want to, like, reconnect and talk every day. That's not at all the case. Like, you get, like, just so you know, if you ever listen to this, if you're a person who listens to this and I've contacted you from the past and I'm just like hitting you up, seeing how you're doing, all that shit. No, I don't give that many fucks, that many fucks about you. Like, please understand that like, you pop in my head and I think to myself, I should probably hit that person up before I die or they die. Like, I'm gonna feel really bad if they die and I was like, yeah, I never reached out. But at this point, every time I think about somebody, I reach out. And if you don't respond or you're fucking weird about it and you die or I die and you feel guilt, that's on you, man. I reached out my hand. You didn't take it. It's like Titanic. Take my hand, Rose. I am trying to connect with you. Yeah, that's something that I think is interesting, man. Like, I don't know, like, I think people think it's weird. Like, there's this dude, I don't mind saying this motherfucker's name. This motherfucker, David Bretto. He was from my high school. David Bretto and Alex Queen, those two. I don't mind saying their names. They'll be fine. Those two were from my high school. And I reached out to both of them. I reached out to Alex Queen during the quarantine because I was like, it's literally been, I think, roughly like 10 years. It's been like a decade. And he popped in my head because I'm bored and I don't do anything all day and you just let your mind go. And so I messaged him. He ignored it, which is fine. He has every right to do that. I think I did the same to Bretto before the I don't know how to spell his name, otherwise I would, so you can look him up. But his name, David Bretto. Die, or I die, and you feel guilt. That's on you, man. I reached out my hand. You didn't take it. It's like Titanic. Take my hand, Rose. I am trying to connect with you. Yeah, that's something that I think is interesting, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I think people think it's weird. Like, there's this dude. I don't mind saying this motherfucker's name. This motherfucker, David Bretto. He's from my high school. David Bretto and Alex Queen. Those two. I don't mind saying their names. They'll be fine. Those two were from my high school. And I reached out to both of them. I reached out to Alex Queen during the quarantine because I was like, it's literally been, I think, rough like 10 years. It's been like a decade. And I just popped in my head because I'm bored and I don't do anything all day and you just let your mind go. And so I messaged him. He ignored it, which is fine. He has every right to do that. I think I did the same to Bretto before the, I don't know how to spell his name, otherwise I would, so you can look him up. But his name, David Bretto. I messaged him before the quarantine. I think he just popped in my head and I was just, something about it was just like, I should hit that guy up. Hope he's doing okay. And they both ignored it, which is fine. But I don't know. I have this thing about mortality. I think it's because when my grandpa died, there's this thing that clicks. All right, so for anyone listening that has had someone pass away when they were younger, I think you're going to get what I'm saying, where you value life more. And you understand the finality. Finality? I'm going to do that a lot during this podcast, I think. Finality. I'm going to say finality. Someone email me I almost said phonetics, the pronunciation. Someone email the pronunciation of these words to me, please. TheBuddySystem@gmail.com. Fuck, what was I saying? Something about David Bretto. And I messaged. Okay. So if you're the type of person who has gone through some sort of death when you were younger, I think you put a higher value on life, and you understand that this shit ends. I've met people that are in their like 20s and they haven't had a death yet, like a serious death, and they don't know. They really don't know that type of impact. So my mentality, just know, if you're listening to this, if you're someone from my past, and you're listening to this for whatever reason, probably because I made it and I became successful, and now you're like, I need to get some of that stand-up comedy money, baby. Let me hit him up. I remember him from sophomore year of high school in history class. Bet you he'll slide me some dough. Oh, fuck, got a nice RV passing by. Yo, man, I'm still getting an RV. I'm saving up for this fucking RV, man. When this market crashes, because it's gonna crash. When this shit hits the fan, people are gonna be selling off shit. I'm gonna get someone's RV. I'm saving up, baby. I got this. But yeah, death and shit. I don't know, when you understand that like life will end. Your life is gonna end. Everyone that you know is gonna get morbid. Strap in, everybody. And by everybody, I mean my 20 listeners. When you know that like life is gonna end, it's over. When it's over, it's over, and it's done. There's a period on that thing. You really appreciate it. You think about it a lot, or at least I think about it a lot. So, when I message these people I haven't talked to in a long time, that's what's going on through my head is like, you're gonna die one day, man, and I'm gonna die one day, and life is way, way too short to be holding on petty nonsense, which is an incredibly hypocritical thing for me to say because of how petty I am in this podcast alone, but I'm working on it. Don't you fucking judge me. Don't you judge me. You're not better than me. Thou who hast cast the first stone, or something from Bible study. What is it? How's it go? He who has cast, wait, no, for real, I want to get this shit. This is some Pulp Fiction shit. He who has cast, okay, I got this. Jesus. All right, I got this, all right. He who hath not sinned, cast the first stone. Boom! Boom! I'm going to heaven. Everyone else listening to this is going to hell if you didn't figure out that quote before me. I care about, I don't know, man, like death is really, it's freaky. It's really freaky. And so just know, like if I message you, it is to check in on you. I hope you're okay. I have no intention of becoming best friends. I could give a fuck about your life on that intimate of a level. Like I'm curious. Like I actually hit up here. I'm not gonna say his last name because he wasn't a dick about it. But I hit up this dude Nick, and I knew him from high school, middle school actually, maybe even a little bit elementary school. I've known this dude for a long time. We weren't like best friends or anything, but you know, he was on the basketball team. He's a cool guy, and he has a family. He's a real adult. It feels like when I messaged him, I definitely feel like I was a man baby messaging someone that became man. Like, it really felt like the beginning of one of those silly Seth Rogen movies where I'm hitting the bong and I'm like, oh man, I haven't thought about Nick in forever. And then I call him up and he's gonna do a business trip. And I'm like, I'll join you. And then we go to Hawaii and we get in hijinks. And he learns stuff, I mature, and everybody wins. No, but I hit him up and you know, we had a brief conversation. He has children, you know, and he's married. I think he still has his job. And it was like good. It was nice. That feels nice to catch up briefly. There's something cool about, like, I think because well, we didn't have our high school reunion because social media exists and the high school reunion feels kind of null, I guess. Because you can just kind of look up somebody and look up their manicured lifestyle. But I was looking forward to going into the high school reunion and seeing who got fat in person. I feel like the social media profiles, they glisten them up a little bit. They put filters on it. But you can't put a filter on face-to-face interaction and see all that, see your fucking hairline slowly sliding back in your head. And just like beards. I would imagine a lot of beards, a lot of wrinkles under the eyes. I hope I have to talk to people who say shit like, yeah, you know, I had to get a babysitter to come on out and shit like that. Because I don't have to do that because I have a dog and that's it. My life is simple and I'm keeping it that way. But yeah, man, like it feels good. It feels good to catch up with somebody briefly. Or to hit somebody up brief. I think there's other people I messaged during this. There's actually a fair amount of people I messaged during this. And it's fascinating people's reaction to, or my assumption of their reaction to that. Like my insecure projections of their reaction. Because, you know, if I'm being reasonable, it's entirely possible that like David Brett or Alex Queen just saw it and then forgot, but I highly doubt that. But regardless, like there's this I don't know, there's this nice feeling of seeing where people go in life. Life is interesting, man. It takes you all over. It takes you down this winding road, and you really never know what somebody's going to end up like or where they're going to go. And I just find that interesting. I think I should have been an anthropologist because people are fascinating to me. I think that's the other part of why. I care about what people think. Part of it is insecurities and trauma and scarring and people telling me I should kill myself, all that stuff. And then the other part is just genuine curiosity about people, because people are strange, man. People are weirdly selfish and selfless at the same time. People we're interesting creatures in this vast universe. Can somebody hit the blunt with me, please? Can somebody get on my fucking level? I actually haven't smoked. I'm walking around sober. This you gotta understand. This is what my brain's like sober. Hold up. Okay, so I've been walking around neighborhoods and kids have been doing chalk, and I assume children because it's chalk. There's probably kids in the house, but I got a cross here It says, if God is for us, who can be against us? And by us, I think they mean the U.S. Yo, okay. 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 All right. Oh, wait, what do we got here? I got another sign, same house. It says, proud parent of a King High School 2020 graduate. Good. You're gonna send those fucking idiots out into the world. That's so weird to me. Like, it's so fucking, I can't wait to write more material and talk about this shit on stage about, like, being a Christian, but almost being embarrassed by it. It's like being a 28-year-old and being like, yeah, I'm in a Yu-Gi-Oh club. It's like, that's fine that you're in a Yu-Gi-Oh club, but you should be at least a little embarrassed that you're in a Yu-Gi-Oh club. Because you're surrounded by fucking idiots like that who say God is behind the U.S. You fucking idiotic hypocrites. What the fuck is wrong with you? My neighborhood, I'm not a fan, man. Like, I think when shit hits the fan, I should be okay because the type of suburb I'm in is secluded for the most part. Like, I would not want to be in New York right now. Like, when shit hits the fan in New York, it's not going to be fun. I don't want to be 30 stories up, 20 square foot. I don't know math, so I'm going to say 20 square foot apartment, which I think is a box. I think that's just a box for a really big TV. But I think I'm, like, in a good location as long as I can stay inside and no one sees my black face. I can't describe to you what it's been like having, like, locks now, having long hair and wearing a mask. Yo, it's wild, man. Like, people look disgusted with me when I walk places. Like, so, okay, hold on, I want to be too hyperbolic here. Some people are nice. Some people smile and wave. But even those people, fuck those people. They wouldn't be smiling and waving if like, I'm pretty, like, I don't know how to describe this to white people for them to understand. So, I know I said I don't know how to describe it, but I'm going to attempt to describe it. There's a feeling, like, there's almost an appreciation for blatant racism of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. And I think you get where this bit is going. But there's an appreciation of the blatant racism because at very least we're on the same page and I can point it out. I can be like, hey, this is a thing that happened. But now racism is like sneaky. People are real fucking coy about the shit. Like, it's dirty looks and it's whispering and there's something real fucking shady about it. And I'm not a fan. It's creepy, man. Like, having the mask on it makes it so much harder to disarm scared white people. Like, I just want to mind my own goddamn business and live my life. And when I go places, if I have the mask on, I can't smile at them. I have these beautiful white teeth, this wonderful charm. If there's anything positive about me physically that you could say, it's my smile. It is a very disarming, nice, tender, sweet. Like, everyone on their deathbed should watch me smile at them before they go on into the abyss. I can really calm you down with a smile. And there's this, I don't know, man, like with the mask on and the hair, oh, fuck, man. My life has been fucking exhausting because of the hair. Everywhere I go, there's this, like, people look disgusted with me or afraid of me or angry. I've had people look really angry at me in the grocery store, like I caused the coronavirus. Like, I don't know, if you're going to be mad at a particular race, if you're going to be racist towards someone for the coronavirus, you'd be racist towards Chinese people. Leave us black people alone. We're tired. I didn't do this. I didn't go Ozzy Osbourne and bite the head off a bat. It's not my fucking fault this is happening. But man, like, I'm definitely going to talk about race a lot more aggressively, I think, after this, which I'm sure is going to get me in some shit, but whatever. I've been in shit since day one. It's a loud ass plane. All right, plane's gone, and I'm tired of talking about race. But with this first person, second person thing, first person, second. So this whole thing, this whole rant I've been doing, I jump from first person to third person. I jump back and forth, and it's weird, man. Like I'll click into one. Like right now I'm in first person. I'll click into one, and then in fact, you know what? I could not tell you when I'm in third person. When I'm in first person, there's this awareness, this hyper awareness of everything going on around me, and so I'm able to tell you like, okay, I'm in first person now. But when it's in third person, I'm not. It's weird. Like it's like an out of body experience, where my brain is just on another track. I'm not even physically. I'm not even here. I don't even think about where I am. It's almost like I got VR goggles on, and my body's on autopilot. Like I know not to trip over stuff and not to walk into things, but I'm not actually seeing what's around me. I'm seeing whatever the fuck is in my head. So, if you're also crazy and you understand what I'm talking about, please email thebuddysystemco@gmail.com. We can start a group. We can be best friends. We can frolic through flowers. Anyway, yeah, the mentality, like I jumping back and forth. Okay, right there. It just happened. Just fucking happened. I was just in third person, and now I'm in first person again. I should probably re-listen back to this till I get a sense of what it sounds like, if there's any difference to anybody else. And I don't know if there is. People say so far in me using this metaphor, when I tell people like, oh, I've just switched back into first person again. Shifted gears. Hit that clutch, baby. Who drives stick? Stick is dying out, and that makes me sad. But when I tell people about like when I click back into first, they're like, well, I didn't see a difference. But for me, it is wildly different. It is, I am literally experiencing life on a different plane. I don't know. I can't wait till I can find the words for this to explain it, but it's really trippy, man. Anyway, I gotta find a way to control it, I think. And I'm thinking, I don't think it's a bad thing for me to be in third person. I'm starting to realize. I think it's a bad thing when third person takes me down a really negative path, or when I start having arguments from like middle school that I don't know if you've ever done that, where you'll be driving and then all of a sudden you're thinking about, I don't know, there's one kid who said that you cheated off of his test and you knew that you didn't, but you actually did. And then he's telling the teacher, and then you get an argument about it, and he goes, hey, fuck you, Jeff. Like in my head, I'll be driving and I'll be like winning this, I'll be winning this epic argument with this hypothetical middle schooler in my brain. Because of course I'm winning the argument. I'm saying what the other person's saying, and it's pretty easy to win the argument when you're controlling both arguments. But I do that in my head. And so I have to like snap out of it. So I'm in third person like that. That's not good. But sometimes I go into third person and it's just like a weird, fun, wild ride in my head. And I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's fun. You know, it's just letting you be creative. I think it's a matter of knowing when it's going down like a dark path. You know, when I'm going down I always picture like, what is that? The kids, I think it's like a German story where the kids are walking in a forest and they find gumdrops and it leads them to candy cane house or some shit, and there's a witch and she eats them. This is my brain. You decided to listen. That was your fault. Yeah, so I'm also working on not pausing. I used to pause a lot, and I don't want to do that. I can't pause when I'm on stage, so I'm not going to pause here. Words, statements about first person and third person. All right, there's a bunch of people, so I'm going to pause for a second. Also, when I say people, I mean children. So I'm not going to pause anymore because I don't give a shit about their opinions. It's nice. It is actually really nice to see kids out and about. We got skateboards. We got razor scooters. Somebody's ankles are about to get fucked up. You remember the razor scooter? Remember that shit when it first came out and it was like $120? And like you tried to do rocket power tricks on it and it fucked up your ankles. That's what I remember. Anyway, first person, third person. Yeah. I think if I can like control it a little better, I think I should be in good shape when I get back on stage. Because when I'm in first person, there's a calm and I'm very aware. I've been able to, like when I hit a punchline like now, or when I'm talking now, I don't think I've been doing the isms. I haven't really been doing the awkward laughter afterwards, or I haven't been running over the minuscule punchlines that I make, or doing whatever other thing I do as much, because I'm in first person and I'm like aware. But, and this is, if you listen to the other long episode I made, when I'm in, like, it's hard to articulate. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. I thought someone was behind me. It's hard to articulate, but it's like in first person, it's hard to be jokey. It's hard to like joke around, fuck around, and let words come out because I am hyper aware of what's around me. But in third person, it's hard to stay focused. Like when I'm off rambling, if I'm in third person and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about Jews and Jello? How did this happen? Then I'm in third person and you're like, it's this weird balance I gotta find that I think I'll practice through podcasting. That seems to be the plan right now. Yeah. How long is this? 45 minutes? That's a long time. All right, well, if you made it through all of this, thanks, appreciate it. And if you're listening to this and you know one person, just one person that you think would enjoy this, relate to it, be entertained by it, please share it with them. Want this to be my career? I got to go word of mouth. We're going underground, son. This is punk rock in this bitch. It's punk rock, son. All right. I hope everyone's doing well.